Hey writer friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Holly. I'm a writer aspiring to be a published author. And in today's video, I will be doing the author origin story tag. So this tag was created by Evie Driver, and I was tagged to do this by Tamia. I will link both of their videos down below so you can check them out. There are 15 questions in this tag, so I'm really gonna jump right in. Question number 1, backstory. When and why did you start writing? How old were you? In which genres did you begin writing? So the very first story I remember writing, I was 6 years old. I was drawing a story about shapes, and it was probably like a couple lines per page, and I had a cover and everything. And then throughout the years, that's what I did. I would just draw my book covers and start writing the stories, and I usually abandoned them. Gosh, I don't even know what genre, like what would the genre about shapes be? Like fantasy? I did have a good mixture of contemporary and fantasy, because I know I had this one novel called Grace the Country Girl, and it was about her and her horses. But then in grade school, we had to do the Young Authors program, and with that you have to write a novel. And so that I did The Keeper of Time, and so that was kind of like probably a magical realism, because there was some mysterious being who could give people more time. And I guess I just started writing because like it was fun. Like I liked it. I was pretty creative when I was younger, and you know, kids have a big imagination, and you know, maybe it was because my mom was a teacher. She taught kindergarten and preschool, you know, while I was growing up. And so, you know, my sister and I were just kind of surrounded by that creative aspect. Question number 2, protagonist. What was your first main character like? How has your taste muses changed since then? So I, wrote quite a few stories, which are kind of considered, I guess, short stories when I was younger. And then there were a lot of stories I started that I never finished. So, and then I really got into the meat of things with fanfics. So I'm gonna start with this question with, I guess, Kaylee, which is my main character from DDR Elite. She was pretty tropey, I guess. I mean, she was kind of like a rocker, but she, liked her best friend who was a guy and just never admitted her feelings for him. So yeah, I guess like I've just grown because I've grown my characters. I've developed them more, given them more personalities, and dove deeper into their backstories. Question number 3, antagonist. What's the worst writing advice or feedback you ever received? What was your first rejection or confidence-breaking experience like? I think it's probably the first rejection that I got for Ranakori Realm when I started querying it. Now, I queried about 15 agents. That was in fall 2017. And probably the worst rejection was the one I got on my birthday. I was like, no, really? Really, man? Like, dude, come on. I was pretty bummed, but like it wasn't too much of a blow, because I had kind of started to develop a tough skin over the summer, and had learned that like rejection is real and you're gonna feel really crappy. So I was kind of like expecting it, but still, like, just as they kind of started rolling in, I was like, oh, like, yeah, maybe Ranakori Realm's not ready yet. And as far as worst writing advice, I see the value in writing every day, but sometimes people can't do that. And if they think that they need to write every day and then they don't, then they'll freak out like I do, and then be like, oh my God, like I didn't write yesterday, I'm a failure. So don't worry, you guys, you don't have to write every day. Question number 4, superpower. What part of writing or the writing process do you feel is your greatest strength? Drafting, revising, character flaws, emotion, showing versus telling, etc. Oh, she gave me a lot of options. Cool. The greatest strength. I feel like it's probably drawing out the emotions and atmosphere through my prose. I feel like that has improved the most, is in my exposition, where the character is contemplating their thoughts and just musing on everything that's going on, and being able to develop that emotional attachment that you will develop with the character. Question number 5, Kryptonite. What part of writing or the writing process do you feel is your weakest? Ouch, this one's gonna hurt. This one's hard because I feel like there's, quite a few things that I'm a little bit weaker in, as far as sometimes my dialogue can be a little stilted and not really believable, and it doesn't it takes me a couple drafts in order to give characters their own voices, so that if you took everything away and just the dialogue, you'd be able to know who's speaking. I do that for like some characters, but not everyone. Question number 6, training montage. What strengths or weaknesses changed over the years? Additionally, what have you done over the years to better your craft? Oh, I'm so happy that this is a question. So the things that have improved over the years are my prose, improving my descriptions of settings and the atmosphere so that I don't have talking head syndrome, and amping up the tension, because that was something that I didn't have very much of in Ranakori Realm, was a lot more conflict and tension. And maybe on the flip side, any like weaknesses is maybe just because I am in such an intense fantastical world with a celestial code, at least with that first draft, was making sure that I didn't have any info dumping, and that I was making sure that everything was clear and that people understood, all of the rules of the magic in the world. So over the years, to improve my craft, I have read writing craft books and have implemented those changes. And I've also consumed blogs, YouTube videos, and just reading about other people's experiences, reading author newsletters, consuming social media in terms of, authors' Insta stories, even just anything like that, where they're talking about their process, they're sharing their process online, and that is helping me. But I think another big thing for me, it was being so meticulous with my editing, because I feel like some people don't edit enough, and that final product is too close to the first draft version, and there wasn't enough nitty-gritty editing. So I feel like that's where I have improved the most on my craft, is actually by being meticulous and really beating myself up and scrutinizing my work. Also, beta reading and critiquing other people's works has helped me improve my craft as well, because I'm able to see other people's stories, their strengths and weaknesses, and learn from that. Question number 7, weapon of choice. What programs have you used over your writing journey? What is your favorite right now and why? So I draft in Microsoft Word, so I don't have the whole Scrivener thing to recommend, but I use the Hemingway Editor app. I use Grammarly. I sometimes dabble in the Pro Writing Aid, and any sort of goal tracker that helps me see my progress and meet my goals. Question number 8, trusted sidekick. Every Batman has his Robin. What is your favorite companion to cuddle or consume while writing? Has this changed over the years? If so, does this also differ from daytime to nighttime? I'm usually drinking either tea, coffee, or water when I am writing, and that pretty much hasn't changed. Definitely, if it's in the morning or early afternoon, I will consume coffee, and then as it gets later in the day, I'll switch to tea. Question number 9, 0 to hero. When you first began this journey, what level of success did you imagine for yourself? I didn't know. I thought that hopefully I can be published, but I was very green and a newbie, and I had no idea. Is where you're currently at on your writing journey heading for the destination? If not, how has your dream evolved over the years? Yes, I believe I'm heading towards that destination. I am so close that I can taste it, and I know that my writing is stronger now, and I am hopeful that I can find an agent who will be the perfect fit for me and for the Celestial Code, and hopefully I can get a book deal and be able to share my book baby with the world. When I first started writing, it was just for fun, and then when I came back to writing for NaNoWriMo 2015 and started realizing that I needed to edit that draft, I was starting to think like, hey, I might want to do this full time. Question number 10, remember my name. Fame. What authors helped you realize your interest or passion for writing? What books helped shape your writing style, genre of choice, or tastes? So way back when, I obviously have to say Harry Potter and the Pendragon series by DJ McHale. I also really loved the Artemis Fowl series by Owen Colfer. Then throughout the years, I would read a lot of Dean Koontz books. Then throughout the years, I started getting into more fantasy series like Vampire Academy and the Lunar Chronicles. So a lot of my big inspirations came from Rochelle Mead, then Marissa Meyer, and it definitely has evolved since then, because now that I have been reading more, I used to barely read books, even though I loved reading books, because I just didn't make it a priority. But since I started writing and knowing that, also I forgot that also improving my craft, reading has also helped me improve my craft, because I have learned from the books that I have read. But anyways, reading books by Marie Lu and Victoria Schwab, Sarah J. Maas. They have all helped shape me and helped me grow my passion for writing. Question number 11, Marvel versus DC. Comparison is dangerous. How has comparing your author journey to others dismantled or helped your own? Any advice to overcome this? For me, it's more so like this is a race against myself. Like I always haven't been like competitive against other people. It's always been against myself. So when someone is successful, I am happy for them. I am so happy for them. And like immediately what goes into my head is like, oh my God, I can't wait for me to be able to post that picture that, you know, this book deal was landed and I landed this agent, and be able to make those YouTube videos about it and share it with you guys. Like that's just the only thing that goes through my head is like, oh, I can't wait till like I get to do that. And I know that like I don't struggle with other people's success. I'm able to overcome it because I know that it took a lot of hard work for them to get there. Just like, you know, hopefully when I make those posts, people have been following me on my journey, so they know how much time and work I've put into this. So they can't be like, oh, it was luck, or oh gosh, man, like I wish I could do that. Like, no, I worked hard for this, like it'll be worth it. Question number 12, the obligatory love interest. Looking back on your earliest projects, what genres have you grown to love or hate to write? So when I was younger, like I said, I wrote like a mix of fantasy, magical realism, and contemporary. As I have switched from writing fanfics that were more fantasy and contemporary, I've become more of a fantasy writer exclusively, but there is some play there. So my first novel, Ranakori Realm, was high fantasy, same with Abargo's Riddle, and then the Celestial Code is an urban fantasy, light sci-fi. So I've kind of been like dabbling or reaching out for different things, and I think that's the fun thing is like, oh, I can go for like a dark fantasy, or I can, you know, dabble in this contemporary fantasy. I haven't really tried writing in any other genres, so I can't say that I hate to write them. It's just that I've been drawn to fantasy, so that's mostly what I've been writing. Question number 13, arch nemesis. What are the most common excuses you've given to yourself or outside forces you've overcome that have prevented you from writing your story or crushed your confidence? Yeah, so that's the self-doubt. I tell myself that I'm too tired, that I don't have the energy, that I don't have the mental space or capacity, that I just need to veg. Those are all the excuses that I come up with to not write my novel. As far as crushing my confidence, I think it is seeing how many writers there are out there and how many authors there are out there that I don't know. I have to realize that I need to take things like one thing at a time and not let my fear of the future that might not even happen, like change what's happening right now. Because if I let my fears and anxiety stop me from writing, then of course I'm never gonna get there. Question number 14, superhero name. When you began, did you consider using a pen name? If you're using a pen name now, why did you decide to use one? If not, why do you use your real name? So I have not used a pen name. My website is Holly Davis Books, and all of my social media, I'm WriteHollyDavis, because I wanted people to know, hey, I did this, man. Like, this is me, Holly Davis, man. Now, I think there are some Holly Davis authors, so I don't know if I'm gonna have to like change my like author name like on the book, if it would be like Holly A. Davis, or if I have to say Holly Audrey Davis, I have no idea, or H.A. Davis, but I would like to see my name on there. And lastly, question number 15, Avengers Assemble. Tag a few of your favorite people to do this tag on their channel. Yay, so I am going to tag. I'm pretty sure these people haven't been tagged, but I'm going to tag Savannah J. Goins, Brittany Wang, and Maverick Moses. All right, you guys, so that's it for the tag. This was so much fun and very comprehensive. Made me like really dig deep into these questions, which I appreciated. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know when you first started writing and what your first novel was about. Please give this video a thumbs up to support my channel, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.